DeerHunterFan.com TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Muddy Outdoors, Outback Archery, Ridge Runner's Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Schreier Outfitters, Spy Point, Sinclairville Seed Company, and Steady Form. Hi, I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan.com TV. On this week's show, we're going to be with Bob Weibel in Arkansas on a hunt that didn't quite go the way that he planned it out, but with some hard work and persistence, he got the result out of it that he was looking for. And we're going to get into the hunt, and about halfway through, I'm going to do a little talk about what was going on there and how important it is as hunters to never give up on a deer once you have an arrow in it.
Well, welcome to this week's episode of DeerHunterFan.com TV. I just got a call from Jared over at Backcountry Outfitters, and last Sunday I had stuck a deer. I knew the shot was marginal. The more we watched the video, the more we realized it was probably a little high and a little far back. God, I don't know what kind of shot that was, but I just stuck a big deer for Arkansas. Holy crap. Whew. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. I hit him in the front shoulder. I'm hoping it went in far enough. Backcountry Outfitters called me this morning and said he had some good bucks coming in here. And in the Ozarks, it's kind of tough to hunt because of the different winds and the different hollers, but whew, gotta grab my composure here for a minute. That was wicked. Hope I got the shot on film. If not, I don't care. That's a good buck for Arkansas. Whew. Oh my goodness. Backcountry Outfitters. Really nice buck. He went to crashing pretty hard and crashing over here, but I don't know. He was still getting it when he circled way over. I don't know what kind of blood I've got, but hopefully I didn't shoot him too high. Wow. Stay with us here.
So as you can see with this shot, at first glance it looked pretty good, but usually when an arrow doesn't pass through, it's usually a marginal hit, unfortunately. I mean, every once in a while you'll go in good and hit the far shoulder blade, and that's why it won't pass through. But on this shot, it was high, it was back, and didn't hit any immediate vitals that was going to make this deer die right away. So after a quick tracking of it and jumping the deer and then watching the video closer, they realized this and decided to back out. And what they did was they put up trail cams around a small patch of woods that this deer went into and probably wasn't coming out of because he was hurt. And they watched the trail cams. He was on the trail cams. Bob was going to go back in there to try to hunt him again, and that day the buck was not on the trail cams. So they went in there and looked for the deer, and they found it. Now, it's very important, it would have been really easy to give up on this deer, walk away from it, and go try to harvest a different buck. But, we have a responsibility that when we put an arrow on a deer, that we do everything we can to make sure we bring that deer home. And, no one's out there to wound deer. I realize that, but it happens. It's hunting, and every shot is not going to be perfect. But luckily, with the equipment we use these days, 90% of the shots are going to be lethal if you put them into a deer somewhere. And you just got to, and sometimes it takes some luck too, I realize that. If it's a huge woodlot with no blood trail, it's going to be very hard to find that deer a day or two later after you hit it if it doesn't bed down right away. So, but they were able to find this buck, and it's a heck of a buck for Arkansas, and I know that Bob was super happy, and so was I when he sent me the picture and told me that they found him.
It was probably a little high and a little far back. Well, he kept putting cameras out to see if we could get the deer to come back in. Well, he just called me, he found the deer. So we're going to go back over. I've got my Arkansas tag, get my Arkansas tag on him. I'm kind of anxious to get my hands on him and see him. That's one good thing about good outfitters. You know, they just kind of stay persistent, and they don't like to see any animal get away once it's been harvested. So I've been pretty lucky with him. He's been tracking him for the last 2 or 3 days and just kind of slipping in, slipping out, keeping his eye on the cameras. And so it's about an hour drive, so we're going to ease on over there, try to get our hands on this deer and take a look at him and see what we've got. So I was able to film the actual shot. I had a few leaves in the way, so actually seeing where the arrow hit was kind of marginal, but I kind of had a feeling, you know, when you let it go, you just kind of know what's what. So I just knew that it was a little far back, and we didn't find any blood right off the bat, but we did that evening, after we let him go for 4 or 5 hours, we did bump him in his bed. So that's when we backed out of there and decided to use the camera strategy just to see if he came in. So, but stay with us, we're going to go run over and at least recover the deer. And it's always good when you recover a deer that you had a marginal shot on. And so I'm excited. Put your tag on him like you're supposed to, and go from there and just keep hunting. Well, here he is. We finally got him drug out and tagged, thanks to Jared at Backcountry Outfitters. The shot was a little far back and a little high, so we bumped him out of his bed, and then we turned around and gave him plenty of time. So whenever you're not sure, make sure you give him plenty of time. Otherwise we'd have lost this deer if we went in there and got too aggressive. So thanks to Jared Backcountry Outfitters. If you guys are looking for a traditional Ozark mountain hunt, get a hold of us on Facebook or contact us on our webpage, and we'll be happy to put you in line with Jared. He does a good job trying to raise some good mountain deer, so, and it's fun. And after hunting Kansas and sections of Missouri, you get out here, these hills and hollers, they're pretty steep, so you're dragging one out, you're dragging one uphill most of the time. So stay with us. It's been an interesting hunt. Went from the highs to the lows after we watched the footage and realized I had shot him way back. So always good to find one and put your tag on him in Arkansas.
So that's going to do it for Bob's hunt. As I said, what a buck it was. And actually, I just want to bring up real quick that a buck has made a reappearance on the farm that I hunt. Splitsy looks to be back. I'm pretty sure it's him. Can't say with 100% certainty. Unfortunately, some of the other pictures I had of him were blurry. But I believe this is the buck that I missed last year. And the buck that I had trail cams of the year before. So I believe this year he's 4 years old, and he looks like a heck of a buck. He was out in the Sinclairville Seed Company food plot 2 days in a row, late at night, 10 at night, 2 in the morning. And I'm hoping that in the next few days that changes up.
The stand all set. We'll see what happens. It's tight in here. If something happens, it's gonna happen fast. So it is a little breezy, but the leaves are super crunchy. So hopefully I can hear something coming. It's a bedding area down in here, and I'm right on it. I'm right on the edge of it. So hopefully we get something coming out.
just so you know, going forward here, we already have more tags filled, some footage to catch up on, and I plan to do that next week. I wanted to get this hunt with Bob caught up on and wrapped up before we moved on. So, but we actually just got deer down this week as well. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan.com TV. I'll see you next time.
Last night.
DeerHunterFan.com TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Muddy Outdoors, Outback Archery, Ridge Runners Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Schreier Outfitters, Spy Point, Sinclairville Seed Company, and Steady Form.